Okay, guys, I'm back tonight. Going to talk a little bit about the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, and his very short career. Actually, I had thought that he had been in wrestling and that he was older than he really was, but Davey Boy Smith, if you're not aware, and most of you probably are, died at a very young age, 39, which to some people isn't young. I mean, if you're 20, that's old. But, you know, if you're in your 30s, and that is not old. 39 is not old. But the British Bulldog was another one of these guys. Had a great career in WWF. I think he was in the WWF 3 times and WCW twice. So he had a career also in some independent little circuits. These guys all usually get started at the small shows, but he'd been around. So he'd been in WCW. He had been in WWF 3 times. I think he teamed up with Sting. He was a face. He was a heel. And I remember this guy. I mean, he was a mainstay on wrestling. Back in the 90s. Just one of those things. And if I remember correctly, he was a very good technical wrestler. And he was part of the British Bulldogs, the tag team. And those guys were, in my opinion, they were kind of power wrestlers, but they were also technical wrestlers. And Davey Boy Smith, of course, had a powerful physique. He was listed at 5'11", or 6 foot, or something like that, 250. So probably floating around 5'9", 5'10", 230s, high 230s. Nevertheless, physical specimen. These guys, wrestlers, they tend to blow up their size a little bit, but they are big guys, they're strong guys, and they're very athletic guys. Do not believe otherwise. I mean, these guys can do some pretty amazing things with their bodies, and they can lift some pretty amazing poundages, for that matter. But Davey Boy Smith died 2002 while he was on vacation with his girlfriend. Fell asleep. His girlfriend woke up. Davey was dead beside her. So, yeah, tragedy strikes again in wrestling. Now, this guy dies at 39 years old. The coroner did an autopsy, and of course, steroids were to blame. Now, I don't know if there's any proof of steroids ever causing anybody's illnesses, but steroids are always to blame because there's nothing else to blame, so they have to do it. But they do enlarge the heart, and Davey Boy Smith was in rehab for painkillers, and I think it was alcohol as well. So this guy had issues, and when you start mixing painkillers in your life later on, I think that does things to your heart. That does things to your endocrine system, your thyroid, kidneys, all kinds of stuff. So, to me, the painkillers are a much worse problem. The painkillers combined with recreational drugs are a worse problem than any kind of PED situation in professional wrestling. And Davey Boy Smith fell victim to that. Now, of course, there were some people who blamed the anabolic steroids. Now, Bruce Hart, I think is that Owen Hart's and Bret Hart's dad? I'm not sure, but anyway, Owen Hart, man, yeah, there's a guy that I need to make a video on. Holy cow, you talk about dying tragically. Anyway, but he said Bruce Hart claimed Davey paid the price with steroid cocktails and human growth hormones. For one, Bruce Hart doesn't obviously know what he's talking about, because that's just a weird statement, phrased strangely. But nevertheless, he might have known perfectly what was going on. It's just one of those things we don't know. But again, he started messing with all this garbage, and again, the painkillers, in my mind, and the recreational drugs are the drugs that really do these guys in. But we will never know. And look at this picture right here, how jacked he is. So obviously, he was using. But he was fun to watch, and he was a bulldog, man, that is for sure. So Davey Boy Smith, 39, dead. Died at 39. Tragedy, but not uncommon.